Hello, how you doing? My name is Cade, and you are watching Cade Creates Crap. Welcome to the video. I'm gonna be going through this thing because I just finished it today. So here is a sketchbook tour of one of my quote-unquote trash notebooks. My cats will probably be walking around, but yeah, we're just gonna have to deal with it. See? Hello, kitten. But here is the book. I started it October 2025. I finished it today, July 22nd. This book is whatever that is, FSC, supporting responsible forestry. That's a good thing. But what I got it from my mom. It was a free notebook, not very good quality. You can see that I pasted a lot of the papers in. She got it from like a work convention, you know, to network professionally, and I just painted over their logo. It says workforce and economic development, so whoever that is, and that's where this notebook came from. I don't know how many pages was in it, but I didn't draw in it super duper duper consistently, mainly because the paper is bad, so I was like mostly doing mixed media and experimenting with that type of thing. Here, sir, can you move a little bit? Thank you. So I was mostly, you know, pasting stuff in. Here's me and my cats. And to start off, I was still working at my old place of work. I was a caregiver in an assisted living facility, so I would doodle my residents, especially like a lot of the time we would go on the bus ride, and so I would doodle them. This is my vampire OC Fabian and his werewolf boyfriend in, you know, his wolf form. I kind of changed his design a little bit, but here's more like vampire OCs. This was in the very beginning stage of me thinking about them. It was like the mom, thinking some like backstory doodles. My cats love to play with this part of the notebook, the little bookmark. Hold on, cat, please don't knock over the camera. But it's like I put a bunch of little charms on it. We had like jewelry supplies to make stuff at my old work, and so I found a bunch of like the cat charms, because it was just a bucket of a bunch of random charms, but I found the cat charms and I put them on my little bookmark. I'm actually really proud of my cats for not chewing off the bookmark, but that's also because I've been protecting it and putting away the book when I'm not using it, because otherwise this would be chewed off like my other one was. Anyway, to the drawings. This is like backstory stuff for my vampire OCs. You know, Fabian was born in like the 1700s, and like, yeah, his mom, you will marry that girl. So other characters that populate the same universe, she's like a fae. Other characters that are just human. This is one of the main characters' bosses. He owns the gas station where Toby works. This is Toby's coworker, Tamir. Some cats. I was doing, oh, okay. I was volunteering doing cat adoptions, and so I was just doodling cats while I was there. Some more characters. This is Ronnie and his wife, the Fae. Ronnie is like a conspiracy theorist, and he's really racist. And he can't prove it, but he swears that like werewolves, Bigfoot, fairies, all that shit exists. The ironic part is that he doesn't realize that his wife is one of these cryptids. It's right under his nose. You just can't smell it. No one in particular wanted to draw cats, mostly. This is my mother. This is my cat, my little Tux, Indy. My Indy boy. This is my niece. This is my other cat that was just laying here, but she doesn't like being picked up, so I won't do that to her. This is my sister-in-law. The OC thinking, pondering. My little brother drew this. Here he wrote his name. Pondering, OCs. Okay, this is Toby, the other vampire, Fabian's brother, the one that works at the gas station. And this is his love interest. She is a werewolf. Her name is Cat, and she loves cats, not dogs, ironically, even though she's a werewolf. She's a cat person. More Toby doodles. He has like this abandoned little train station by train tracks that aren't used anymore. Cat, stop it. And he'll just like lay or sit on the roof of this abandoned train station. I didn't draw it very well, and just like look out over the landscape. That's his little thinking spot. Ow, cat, why are you doing that? Get out of here. Damn, she scratched me. More of my residents. Yeah, more residents. This was all from a bus ride, and then like later when I got home is when I colored it and everything. These are different OCs. These are my fantasy OCs. These two are human witches, Tori and Dahlia. She is also a human witch. This is Dahlia's older sister. I don't remember what I fucking named her. Tori, she grew up on a farm, so this is her doing some farm work. This is Tori's mother, and it's just a cat. This is another vampire OC, also a sibling of Toby and Fabian. Their name is Mars. Little sticky notes. I think I doodled on these as I was doing like the cat adoptions. We call it Catter Day. Yeah. And this is my kitten, my baby. She's not a kitten anymore, but she's still my baby. This is my coworker, one of my residents. This this looks exactly like him. Crazy. Rest in peace. You will be remembered. You'll always be in this book, my friend. My best friend and me and my cat. Not you. Please get your claws off of the paper. This was Christmas time, evidently. Dreaming of a beige Christmas, because my place of work, honestly, this drawing of our Christmas tree at work is more colorful than the actual tree itself. It was like fucking brown with, like copper ornaments, and it was really sad. And we had like a raffle thing for the employees, and I won like a massage gun, so that was nice. Actually really nice massage gun. Dragon OC. Yes, I know he doesn't have wings. It's on purpose, I swear. It's on purpose. You don't understand. Coworker, he's agency, so I didn't always work with him, but it was always really fun when we would do night shift together. This was all during night shift. Another coworker, this was based on a resident, but she like walked away after I started sketching, so what you gonna do? More of the fantasy OCs. Tori again. I don't like that she's not actually looking down on Tallulah, but I was drawing directly in pen. I could not erase, so it is what it is. This was when I first created one of the OCs for a different story. I have too many stories. Zephyr, just a human, more of a side character. Same story, they're friends. This is Mimi. She is one of the main characters. She gets possessed by a demon, and they're gym buddies, Mimi and Zephyr. I should really keep this tattoo on Zephyr, because I don't think I included it on their ref sheet. This is the protagonist of the same story, trans boy Tyson. I kind of don't draw him in his sweatshirt anymore. I have more of a dichotomy between what he wears pre-transition and what he wears post-transition, because he lives with his mother, who is not accepting of trans people, so he doesn't come out or transition until he moves away for college, which is when the story happens. Here's Toby again, working his night shifts at the gas station. I had to look up references for all of this because I've never worked a retail job. So this is Mimi again, and her ex-friend, the friend she had in high school, but they're no longer friends. This is Grace. Yeah, she's kind of like an antagonist in the story that I'm calling Radical Demonology because it sounds cool. This is Lucifer, Satan, one of his forms. He kind of just, in the story, he shows up, however, is most culturally relevant for the person, I guess. Whoever they see Satan as in their mind, that's how he looks to them. So obviously he's gonna look like, am I allowed to say faggot on here? He's gonna look like that to, trans teenagers, young adults. This is more fantasy OCs. I haven't fully decided what I want to do with this character yet. She's a goblin, This is yet another sibling in the Toby, Fabian, Mars sibling brigade. I don't think I have actually landed on a solid name for her yet. At first I thought she was just going to be a CNA, but now I'm she's lived long enough. I want her to be a nurse practitioner, because she's been a nurse since probably the First World War, since she's a vampire, and she's lived a long time. This is nobody in particular. I drew it on top of our work New Year's Eve menu that we had out to make it fancy for the residents. This was on top of an employee meal sheet. I actually do that a lot. I paste a lot of these in. This is Mars again. Nobody in particular, just wanted to draw this. Toby and his twin sister that he doesn't speak to because they don't really like each other. They're not close at all. Sorry, twin stereotypes. His twin sister again, she has a young daughter at the time that like I want the story to take place, and her husband is a piece of shit. Yeah, her and Toby are not very old. They're actually only like, how old did I decide they would be, like 40? I don't know, something like that. And pondering. This is my mom's friend. I was visiting my hometown, and this is my mother. Yeah. This is my auntie again, and my cousin. Yes. We're all at my aunt's house. And these are OCs, but this was based off of like my view that I had of, I think it was my cousin and my aunt or something like that, because we had ordered pizza and we were having drinks, yada yada. This is Kat from before, Toby's girlfriend, and her sister, her stepsister. I don't remember what I named her, but yeah. And this is Kat's father. He has early stage dementia, and he's an alcoholic. He loves his beer. So yeah, I drew a little scene. He's like, have we met before? And she's like, Dad, this is my boyfriend. And he's like, I thought you was queer. She is queer. Her ex is a girl. She's bi. But, you know, like, bi people date men too. So, take that. Pondering, like, the stepmother, like, her mother, the sister's mother, but, like, Kat's stepmother. And then her stepsister has a little baby. Yeah. And I was, like, again, thinking about the parents, the dad that has dementia, like, what did he look like when he was younger? And, like, what does the stepmother look like? They're divorced by now, but, like, they were married for the majority of Kat's childhood. And then I was thinking about Kat's ex. She doesn't look exactly like this anymore, but pretty similar. I added more tattoos, and, like, you'll see her later. I draw her again later. They had kind of a toxic, like, codependent relationship when they were teenagers and young adults. But Kat and... Actually, I haven't really settled on who dumped who. Anyway, proceeding. This is Mars. I was daydreaming about, like... Because Mars is, you know, one of the vampire siblings. And they're all born at different times, right? So I was kind of thinking, like, how old is Mars? And I also want, like, Mars to be, like, transcoded, but born in a time where that's, like, not really a thing. And so, like, how did they develop as a person as the times changed? Like, what were they doing during certain social movements? And yeah. This is my fantasy world. Here's Tori, and I was thinking about, like, her childhood friend that she grew up with. And here they are again, Tori and Dahlia. And Dahlia's sister, I was pondering. I did not keep this mask thing, I don't think. And this is also part of the fantasy world thing. I was thinking about, because Dahlia's sister lives in the desert, in, like, this little mining occupation that the kingdom has in the middle of the desert, and, like, the indentured servants / slaves are native to that land, so I wanted something that was more, like, desert-like. So I'm like, oh, I want them to be, like, cool, like, dinosaur lizard people, you know? And, like, this part of their head holds water like a camel's hump does, you know? So, I was thinking about that, and here's more doodles of them, and I was thinking, like, since there's magic in this world, like, yeah. Here's the sister again, and I was thinking about, like, do I want to create specific characters of that species, since part of, like, the story will take place there. And, oh, here's more doodles of, like, when I was on the bus ride for work with the residents. Here was one of my residents, and I went and watercolored it later. And here, I was just drawing, like, my work boot rested up on my feet, my knee, my thigh knee. Here's more of that, another resident, and this is the same guy from over here. I just had, like, a really good view of him. And pondering OCs. This is, like, meant to be Mars in, like the really late 1800s, I think, like, cusp of the 1900s, and her love interest from that era. Mars again, cross-dressing, ooh, scandalous. This was all covered up. I think this was meant to be her love interest, because my idea was, like, this love interest, it was born male, and so, like, they're both, like, little trannies, and yeah, they just cross-dress in private. My other OC from my fantasy story, and then goblins again. This is Tallulah, and I was still thinking about, like, that goblin princess character. I don't really like this page very much, because I didn't, like, I didn't really paint it. I just did acrylic markers, and I don't like how flat it looks. But here's Fabian getting some sun on the beach. He loves going to the beach. More fantasy characters. Dahlia again, more of a tactical outfit. Here's Tori, and another character is more of an antagonist at the school that they go to. And she's like very protective over Dahlia because she's supposed to be like Dahlia's spy or bodyguard. I guess Dahlia's a princess. But Dahlia actually likes spending time with her. She doesn't really like Azula anymore because Azula is like mean, but not just mean. She's like a conformist, and it's like a mean girl energy, you know? It's like very catty. I hate using that word, but yeah. And so she doesn't like Tori, and she's like, stay away from her. So they fight. And this, I was thinking about like a Spider-Verse AU, like my version, I guess. It's like just a trans girl Spider-Woman, like very much like similar, basically the same Peter Parker, but like if he was trans. And I'm sure it's been done before, but like I was just daydreaming, and I was like, oh, I want to draw that. So, and then this, I think I was trying to design something for like a TTRGP RPG tabletop role-playing game campaign that I was helping my friend build because he was the game master. And this is when I watched Prodigal Son, and it was such a good show. Ugh, they better make more seasons, man. But yeah, this was a few of the characters. Crazy serial killer dad, very family oriented. I can't believe that like crazy homicidal dad trope like is a thing, because they're just like the worst man on earth, but they love their children. And like that's their singular redeeming trait, is they love their children. Like the invincible dad, the prodigal son dad, like it's a thing, and I kind of eat that shit up every time. And then this is the mother, Jessica, because I kind of also love her. And this is one of like the main characters in like live action TV shows that I find it hard to draw them accurately. But this is Malcolm from Prodigal Son, and this is an OC. This is no longer fan art. Like the headmistress of the school that Tori and Dahlia go to. Here's her again, Ingrid, and this is one of the professors who is also Dahlia's aunt, on the side of her family that is not royal. So she was just like she's just a veteran, and then veteran turned professor. She does like combat and that sort of thing. There's another character in the fantasy world. Some cats. Here's my OC Poe. And here's another OC from that same universe that I was thinking about. And these are doodles, like older doodles that I just glued into the book because I found them and I was like organizing my notebooks. These were doodles that were in like one of my old school notebooks that I had taken notes in, and I like ripped out all of the pages that were like unrelated to. Holy shit, they actually got me. Do you see that? That was on camera when she was just fucking around with me, my cat. Anyway, I just pasted these in. I feel like I'm rambling so much. Oh my god. Here's another OC from that like furry story universe. She's not an OC. She's just another pasted in doodle. But these are OCs. Big sister, little sister. Yeah. They don't have names yet. Couldn't tell you. Here's OCs again. Here's Grace. And this is Tyson's cousin, Derek. I swear to God, we saw these OCs earlier. We've just seen a lot of OCs, and it's hard to keep track. But here's Derek some more. Part of his character arc is like he's like the older cousin of Tyson, the protagonist. This is the radical demonology story, by the way. And he when he was in high school, Tyson's father died, and Derek grieved him really badly, and he fell into drugs, and he got into a lot of fights, and he became like a really bad addict, and his parents ended up saying like, if you're not going to be clean, you need to leave. And so he was homeless for a while as well before he cleaned up his act. And when the story is taking place, he had been like sober, he became sober and everything, and he started working like 2 jobs, saving up a bunch of money, living with his parents again because they accepted him back. And like now he's the one that's like paying for the majority of like the cost of living for him and Tyson, so that they can go to university. Like Derek is an artist, and he wants to be an artist. So yeah, I was kind of just drawing him because I like his character. And yeah, here is Art Fight attacks. These are not my characters, they are characters of people on Art Fight. Yeah, here's more not my characters, people from Art Fight. Yeah. Here's my characters again, yay. I was at the DMV, and I colored it later when I got home, but all I had was a little pen and this notebook, and I was waiting in the DMV. Even though I had an appointment, I had to wait a fucking long time. So I was like, oh, one of the things with my character Kat is when her mom passed away in a car crash, she developed a really, really severe phobia of driving. And even though she's in her like mid to late 20s, she's never had a driver's license. And one of the things I want to depict in the story is like her challenging that fear and finally learning how to drive. And so I was drawing a little comic of her at the DMV, and then like she by chance sees her ex there. Like, I don't know, her ex is like renewing her driver's license or something like that, and she's being all friendly, and Kat is like, oh, yeah, hi, like, I don't want to talk to you, but hello, I'll be polite, because she was kind of a piece of shit to Kat. So yeah, oh my god, hey, I was not expecting you here. And then Toby shows up because he has to be there for the big day. It's her driving test. Her brother just dropped her off, but Toby wants to be there for moral support because he's a good guy. And so now she can just be like, yeah, this is my boyfriend, okay, bye. Yeah, I had fun drawing this, so if you want to pause and read, you can, but I don't feel like reading it because I feel like it's always really cringe when I read it out loud. But he's like, you're gonna smash the test, like, let's just focus on your driving test because it's a big moment for you. Don't worry about this bitch, don't worry about her because she sucks. Here is the vampire sister again, that's a nurse practitioner. She has a nonprofit with Fabian where like they research into like cryptid related like medical things. They're trying to like make like a blood supplement that doesn't require human byproducts, so they don't have to like drink people's blood anymore. They like study like werewolf phases, like they do all that kind of shit. And she's in charge of it. She's a smart lady that never fucking sleeps, hence the eye bags. And this is Mars again. Mars lives in her studio. Like they live together, and she is just like this crazy, insane drug addict. And every once in a while, when the drugs aren't hitting anymore, she'll show up on Fabian's doorstep and be like, "Hey, I need to detox," and he'll just lock him in his basement until like thing is over. Like all of the what's it called? Oh my god, what is it called? Withdrawals. When he's no longer having withdrawals and he's like detox from his drugs, that's when Fabian lets him out. So the little fuck up sibling, love them. This is Fabian and his boyfriend Simon. Simon is also Kat's sister, which is a weird dynamic a little bit, but they like both couples date not knowing the connection. And then there's like this funny scene where like he invites him to a family dinner, and he's like, Simon is like, oh shit, I can't come, sorry, I have a thing with my sister. But Kat is bringing him to the same exact dinner, and then they see each other and they realize, and they're like, oh fuck, we can't date anymore. But Toby's like, no, it's fine, dude, like, I want you to be happy, so just date. This was me just thinking, like, what would Simon look like with his hair down, because I always draw him with his little man ponytail. And this is Mars again. And here's like the very last spread. Another self-portrait, because I don't know what else to do for like the first and last pages, but here's another self-portrait. And I had fun with this book. I just glued a bunch of shit. I don't think there's really... Oh, there's one thing in here, and it is an old staff employee meal sheet from my job where I no longer work. So that's a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, from when I went to Disneyland, I think this was in like 2024. I don't know when the fuck, I don't know why I saved this that long. Like, what? Yeah, I wish I could read what movie this was. Something, yeah, I can't read it. I wish these AMC tickets would last so I would remember what movie I saw and why I kept it, but that's the way it is. But that was my sketchbook. Yeah, I hope my rambling was entertaining. I hope the art was satisfactory. Yeah. Bye. Thank you if you watched this far. Bye.